Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode of Bad Beast Barbecue. Hey, we're finally able to get back outside after several days of ice and snow here in Illinois. Okay, it's about 60 degrees today, so the ice is melting. I had to clear off the patio in order to get out here and set up for this video. But hey, anything for you guys. Okay, so today we're going to be doing a Blue Glacier salmon fillet. Okay, so this is a farmed salmon. It's not a wild caught salmon, okay? And this is 2.65 pounds of salmon fillet. We're going to season this with a little avocado oil, okay? That's going to act as a binder, just a nice light layer that we're going to brush on. And we're going to be seasoning it with Gulf Bay seasoning from Bazaar Spice Market. Now, this is a spice market that's right around the corner from my house that's opening up. I have the pleasure of knowing the owner, Mr. Adai Kabul. Okay, he's a retired military member just like I am. Okay, so it's veteran owned, and he has been selling his spices all over Amazon and eBay, and now he's opening up a storefront. He has everything from barbecue seasonings to seafood seasonings to seasonings from every continent like Africa and Asia and Europe. And he also has popcorn seasonings. Okay, so, hey, go to his website. I'm going to put it down here at the bottom of the screen. It is bazaarspicemarket.com. Check him out. Show him some love. Buy some of his spices. Support your veteran-owned businesses. This friend of mine, he is going to also be helping me bottle my Bad Beast barbecue rubs and spices, which will be coming out hopefully in the next few months. Okay, so hey, look for that on our website. Okay, but we're going to be checking out this Gulf Bay seasoning that he gave me, and this is good for fish and seafood and crab and shrimp and so forth and so on. Okay, I let the wife taste this. She likes it. She likes it a whole lot, but she says she would like a little sweetness with her salmon also. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a layer of turbinado sugar, and then we're going to come behind it with some Gulf Bay seasoning. So hey, let me bring you closer. Let's get this bad boy prepped up, and let's get it on the Char-Griller 980 today. All right, guys, so we're going to hit this with a little bit of avocado oil. The avocado oil is one of those oils that has uh, it's a high temp oil. Okay, so it doesn't smoke at a lower temp like regular olive oil does. So we're gonna put a light coat of avocado on here, like we mentioned earlier, and we're gonna hit it with a little turbinado sugar first. Now we're gonna be cooking on the Char-Griller 980 today, and we've already have it fired up. It's been coming up to temp for the past 45 minutes or so. And like I mentioned in my previous video, guys, make sure that you light your smokers and grills 45 minutes to an hour before you get ready to cook on it to give the smoker an opportunity to stabilize and level out, okay? All right, so that should be enough turbinado sugar to satisfy the wife's sweet tooth. The reason I'm using turbinado sugar instead of regular brown sugar is because turbinado sugar kind of crystallizes and give you a little bit of a crunch. So, all right, so now we're going to hit it with the Gulf Bay seasoning, and it's a fantastic smelling seasoning. Now, the one thing about Bazaar Markets spices and rubs and their seasonings is that they don't put any of the. It's all natural. Okay, they don't put any of those anti binders and all of those chemicals in the spices to preserve them for 10, 20, 30 years or to withstand the radiation from a nuclear blast, like like some companies put all those preservatives and additives. This is all natural, and so the shelf life may be a little bit shorter, but it will last quite a long time. And like I was talking to a guy earlier today, and it was like, man, if you have a seasoning that's sitting on your shelf for years at a time, you might as well get rid of it because obviously you don't like it and you're not enjoying it or using it. So um, all the seasonings that I use and love, I run out of all the time. Okay. All right, so we're gonna let this sit here and get happy for a few minutes. The one advantage of it being kind of cold out here is that you can kind of work or take your time working with your fishes and your meats out in this weather. Okay. All right, let's get ready to get this bad boy on the 980. All right, guys. So, like I said, we're using the Char-Griller 980 gravity-fed smoker today. The charcoal that I'm using today is Fogo lump charcoal, okay? And the wood that I'm using is Kingsford cherry chunk wood, okay? So I got chunks of cherry wood from Kingsford, and I put them down in the ash basket, okay? So what I do in my ash pan is I make sure I empty my ash pan out before every cook, okay? And then I take my wood chunks and I slide them all the way to the left-hand side away from the flap. That will prevent any type of accidental overheating or what have you, okay? I haven't had any problems. I know some people have had problems with their flap getting burnt up or getting damaged in their fan, but I have not had that so far. But I am thinking about buying the mod from LSS Mod, I think it is, to extend the fan and the flap out a little bit more, and to buy the secondary shelf that goes in here. So I'm thinking about it. So we'll see how that pans out. Okay, but now that this has come up to temp, I got it at 235 degrees. We're gonna go ahead and put the salmon on, and we're looking for the salmon to cook until it reaches an internal temperature of 145 degrees. All right, guys. So here's our fish, and we're gonna be using a rack. And somebody had asked me in one of my videos, well, why don't I put the food directly on the grill grates? Okay, and I do that sometimes depending on how large the pieces of meat are, or how large the protein is. But for the most part, I always use a rack. It's just easier to put the food in and out of the smoker and to move stuff around in case you have to do that. Okay, so we're gonna place the salmon right here in the middle on our rack. The rack has been sprayed with PAM, okay, to prevent sticking. And we're gonna let her roll, and we're gonna wait until she reaches an internal temperature of 145 degrees. Don't go nowhere. All right, guys, so our salmon has been on the Char-Griller now for about an hour and 50 minutes. We increased the temperature from 225 on the grill up to 250 about halfway through the cook. And now we believe that the internal temperature has reached somewhere between 145 and 150. So let's go ahead and check it. And if we have, we'll go ahead and pull it off. All right, so we're going to make sure that our salmon is over 145 in the thickest part. It says 155. That says 160. That says 152. All right, so we can go ahead and take it off and have a taste test. All right, so we're going to see if we can get this off of our rack here without tearing it up. All right, there we go. Nice, beautiful piece of salmon. Let me go ahead and give you guys a close-up look at this. Oh, that salmon looks really nice. It's got a nice red, dark, crimson color to it. That Gulf Bay seasoning, like to put some nice color on it. Plus the cherry wood give it a nice red color. All right, just time for the taste test. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and have a taste of this. Well, this is nice and flaky. Smells smoky. Yeah, it's got some nice smoke. Got some nice smoke to it without being overly smoked. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and have a taste. Mm. Now that Gulf Bay seasoning is really good, and the turbinado sugar that we put on there added a little bit of sweetness to it. Okay, but I might have put just a little bit too much sugar on it because it might be overly sweet. But that Gulf Bay seasoning is nice and even got a little tinge of heat in the back end of it. But this is a really good piece of salmon. I think the wife is going to be really happy with this. I'm going to go ahead and get another bite. She likes her salmon a little bit drier than normal, so this flaky consistency is perfect. So, all right, I have a second taste. Mm. Yeah, I like that Gulf. I like the Gulf Bay seasoning. It tastes really good. Might need just a smidge more of salt. Otherwise, it's a real good seafood seasoning. It's really balanced. And like I said, if you want to add a little bit of sugar to your seafood just to add a little sweetness. That's cool, but you really don't need it. I added the sugar just because the wife wanted a little sweetness to her salmon. But all in all, this came out really, really good. Okay. Well, that's all we have time for today. Hey, if you have any questions about Bazaar Spice Market, hey, check out the description block and check out their website. I'll put it down here at the bottom of the screen again, and I'll put a link down in the bottom of the description block. Once again, they have barbecue seasonings, they got popcorn seasonings, and they got spices and seasonings from all over the world, different continents, Africa, Europe, Asia. So check them out, okay? Also, if you got any questions on what we did with the Char-Griller 980 today, don't hesitate to drop me a comment. I love this grill here. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite grills. I'm a little bit torn between my Kamado Joe and between my 980 when it comes to adding authentic charcoal and smoke flavor to food. Okay, love my pellet smokers. Don't get me wrong for the convenience of them, but these bad boys here add a little bit more smoke flavor to your food. Okay. Well, that's it. That's all we have time for today. Hey, like we always say, where there's smoke, there's fire. If it's fire, then damn it, there just might be a barbecue there. Hey, as always, hey, we'll see you guys around the smoker.